What is up, all you trainers out there? I'm here bringing you awesome content. This is an actual league competitive run of myself. I'll be on the left side. My name is Tomas Bobadilla, if you guys don't know me. And welcome to Master Quest. I thought it'd be a cool idea to capture my cup run and talk about it and go through it as the plays were happening. I will admit, I did forget a lot of the things that happened, so it'd be kind of like refreshing watching and seeing if I actually misplayed or not, and going from there. So right now we are going against a Raging Bolt deck. So it's pretty. A Raging Bolt is like I would say 50-50 at most. It's Dragapult doesn't really have that bad of a matchup against it. I used to be a Raging Bolt player, so I know all the ins and outs of that. I used to play for I used to play it all the time for a year and a half straight, and it was the only deck. And 30 minutes on the clock just started. We were about to go off. I started with Fez, not the greatest start for a Dragapult player. And he's playing Kangaskhan, like, you know, great draw with post rotation. Raging Bolt has definitely steered away from the Noctiles, which I feel like they shouldn't, at least in the perfect order format, because there's other than Unfair Stamp, that's your only disruptor, and getting disrupted once isn't as bad as it used to be pre-rotation, because Iono was just a constant thing, like every turn. Even though if you managed to pull the top card and get yourself going again, Iono was definitely coming for you next turn, and the turn after that, and the turn after that. But with the perfect order format, you only get disrupted once, possibly twice if you get judged, but judge gives you 4 cards, so it's still a lot more. Ideally, that's what you would see, right? You know, you get down Iono down to 1, and then top deck Sada, draw 3 extra cards. Either way, you're still seeing 4 cards and you're getting back. So I honestly think playing Raging Bolt in the perfect order format without the Noctiles is like a huge fumble, but I don't think anybody has really tested and see. I know it's not really good against a Dragapult matchup because they can take like potential 3-prizers and they could just have to attack you twice. I could see it, but again, if you don't really think about it, like if you really think about it, you are a lot faster than Dragapult. Dragapult still has to set up. Yes, the rare candy builds are in there and they can get turn 2 Dragapult and start swinging, right? But I mean, at the end of the day, I feel like we're not playing Raging Bolt to the best of his abilities, and I feel like you can see that here in this game. And also a lot of like gameplays you see on regionals, I feel like they just defaulted back to pre-rotation of the Raging Bolt before Noctiles were introduced, right? So I mean, it's fair game, but regardless, I set up with 2 Dreepies, 1 Badoo, and 1 Duskull attached to turn to the Fez. This is like my ideal board setup. This is ideally what I'm trying to get turn 1, and trying to see if I can put pressure onto the board, slow them down. With this, I'm able to potentially get my Dusknoir, and it's just like really depending on what I top deck from this Lilies, because like ideally having your bench full, search for 8, being able to retreat to your Badoo is highly strong. I actually get the craziest hand right here: 2 rare candies, an Ultra Ball, and a Pokepad. So, and I have Dragapult in hand. So technically all I'm missing is a Crispin, and I can just start swinging, right? Swinging hard. I can rare candy into my Dusknoir next turn. I can rare candy into my Dragapult next turn, and all I'm missing is a Crispin, and I'm great. I kind of fumbled here with the Badoo. I don't think I actually saw the potential in my hand, because I already had Ultra Ball in hand as well, so I can just Ultra Ball for Meowth, Pokepad for the Dusknoir, rare candy into the Dusknoir, rare candy into the Dragapult, and then put down the Meowth, get the guaranteed Crispin, blow up the Dusknoir into the Kangaskhan, and then just start board wiping him as much as possible. So ideally, I mean, that would have been a great play. Obviously, I also was trying to see at this time, like, you know, it would have been a great play. I think that's what the play you should have done. I think I was playing more safe. Like, don't waste all my resources to do this big crazy play. Just because I will technically use my whole hand. So do I really want to discard this boss and this dark energy for a Meowth and to start swinging? And I choose to play it safe by grabbing and putting down the other Badoo. If they knock it, then I'm good. I'm looking on his side. I mean, he's debating on playing Crispin, which is honestly not a good call. He's just trying to be aggressive here. He had Serrano. I think just getting his board set up would have been better. Just for the potential whatever shenanigans comes his way. And then you could Crispin next turn and still do more draws, because like with the Raging Bolt, you want more energy on board. But in this he decides to just be aggressive, and sometimes being aggressive just puts you back. So he's basically just gonna start attacking with his Kangaskhan, and just like that, I have my Badoo. So it wasn't that bad. I could still do the play. I top deck Crispin, so I'm even like, I have the grail of all nuts in my hand. So I opt in to actually grab a Dracloak to build momentum on my board, because all I really need, I can still use the Ultra Ball since I don't need to use it for the Meowth. Because I already have Crispin in hand by the top deck. I no longer need to get for the Meowth, so I opted to use the Ultra Ball for the Dusknoir if needed. If I'm not able to draw it, because I'm able to see 5 cards from here. I have Fez now because he unlocked my Fez by taking that knockout with the Badoo, and then I also I can look at my next 2 cards, so it's even more chances of actually seeing another Ultra Ball, another Pokepad, or drawing into the Dusknoir. So I rare candy into the Dragapult, leaving my Dracloak. I draw, look at that. Boom. I have a Meowth and a Pokepad. Just opt in to play the Pokepad. Grab my Dusknoir. Play it down. Rare candy into it. Smackaroo. And then it's a no-brainer. Oh, I definitely forgot to put down his indication that he took a prize. Let me do that. Boom. And I hope you guys actually like enjoying these videos. It's actually pretty cool looking back, reviewing my game, seeing if I messed up, seeing if I could have done something better. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy it. Let me know. This is something definitely new. So yeah, like I said, pop my Dusknoir. He gets an extra prize. 130, I decided to knock and put 60 onto the teal mask, and I take 3 prizes. I'm already winning this prize race, and it's like going swell. 22 minutes left on the clock. He plays down Fez, and like I said, if we went back to his previous turn and he decided to set up with the Serrano, he probably would have had a better board state. Looking at his hands, this would have been the perfect turn to Crispin to just get more draw. But now he opts to play the Serrano, and it's not that good. Because he doesn't really have that draw. And if you look back to my previous turn, I remember hesitating and playing another Duskull. And I was thinking, and then right after that, I was like, oh my God, I should have played my second Duskull, because then I could just board wipe or destroy anything from his, what he ever puts up in his active without sweat, right? But I choose not to, because he already had 4 prizes. If he knocks out my Dragapult, then I'm putting down him in a 1 prize, and then I still need so much more. He doesn't play any single prizers other than 2, and I need a lot more damage than 50 to take a 3 prize. So ideally, I was just like, okay, the Duskull wasn't like as good, but as the board was progressing, not having the Dust Skull was a misplay by me, because it just gave me more outs. It would just give me more outs later on. It would have been a potential threat for him, of thinking like, oh, I have to get rid of this Dust Skull, or do I have to play more aggressive and try to get there, and him play more resources, so the Dust Skull is not effective later, because I'm down to 1 or 2 prizes, and if he does pop it, I win, or he gives me an easy boss KO next turn, versus I need to take a 2-prizer, blah 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 shenanigans. So it's one of those, like, I kind of wish, and I definitely get like again, if I had the Dust Skull, I had Dusclops in my hand, I could have popped it, and hit whatever active Pokemon, put 60 more damage on. I would spread the damage, put 10, 10, 40 all over, 40 on the Raging Bolt, and 10, 10 on the Teal Dances, and just like that, I would just have the ultimate board state. And I definitely got Lily's Determination off of that unfair stamp, so I am saved. He opts into his pass, because obviously he can't do much. I decided to bump his card. I was thinking that maybe it was a misplay, because I prefer a bigger bench as well, but I didn't want it back in my deck, so I decided to play it, and just in case he plays any shenanigan tool cards, which I haven't seen. And then Lily's Determination, trying to see the best possible 6 cards I can get. And yeah, I mean, as far as this matchup, it's like, at this point, I'm favored, just because of the rare candies. Now a lot of the Dragapults, and I do play no candies in my Pult list, so it is a slower build. Hand's not so great. I opt in to grab the Crispin. I think I already played Lily, so I can't have it, and I have a backup attacker, so even if he KO this Dragapult, I have the KO for next turn, because I will punch. So I'll put 200 damage, and I decided to spread the damage by putting 40 on the Raging Bolt, 10 damage on the Teal Mass, and 10 damage on the Pheasantipede. And just like that, anything in his board is a one-shot KO, leaving 10 damage on the Fez, taking my guaranteed 4 prizes. He no longer has what's it called? Area 0 Underdeath to be able to potentially destroy his board by taking away the Latias. The only way he could come back from this is if he has Area 0 once again, plays down another Raging Bolt, power that Raging Bolt instead, and then hope I don't have boss's orders for the game, and more likely I won't, because I have to Crispin to attack, right? Or I could be a little funny and Badoo his attached return to the Dreadcloak, boss orders the Latias, and just start swinging and evolve my Dreadcloak to a Dragapult to guarantee that it won't get knocked next turn. Just like that, he hits me for 350, and I throw up my Badoo. I already have game in hand, but I'm just like this nerve-wracked player who has to see all the cards before making the decision, even though I know I have the guarantee win. He takes 2 new prizes, and I already have it. And I Crispin, and let's just see if I have the cards. So I have, and there it is. Boom. Fist bumps go up. I take game 1. And then I'll see you guys in round 2. All right, guys, I'll see you in round 2. All right, what up, guys? We're here in round 2, playing against Cynthia's Garchomp. So let's see what we got. So he options to go second after the coin flip. He got it. Cynthia's Garchomp is actually one of the worst matchups, in my opinion, for the Dragapult. It is very. They're just so quick with it, and it's just a tough matchup. Luckily, there's a lot of grass out there in the world, so it's not highly played. But when you do get matched up to it, it is difficult. I would say it's one of Dragapult's weakest matchups. Definitely, like, I would say 70-30, 70 being Garchomp taking the win. And this list does play stadiums. Usually a lot of Garchomp lists decides to opt out of having stadiums. So having like your jamming tower and just playing it down will be there for the entire game. Having your Rusky Ruins down turn 1 will not affect. It would stay in play for the whole remaining game. And it's just making it a lot easier. But with this specific build, it does have stadium, so it's one of those like, and it's playing one of the hard, like the most counter Dragapult stadiums ever, and that's Battle Cage. No monkey shenanigans, no Dusknoir shenanigans, no Dragapult Phantom Dive shenanigans. So it's like, this list is definitely anti-Dragapult for sure. So we hit the coin flip right here. I start with the Badoo. He starts with the Gibble. I play a Dreepy. Hands looking bad. I am going first. So I do have Lilies, and I opt in to play the Risky Ruins just to play as much damage as possible. Hoping he didn't have the stadium, but like I said, this list does. So he plays the Battle Cage, locking me out of any spread damage whatsoever. He plays Harlequin. And so he plays Harlequin, which you guys don't know if Harlequin does is basically shuffle, flip a coin. If it's heads, you take 5, your opponent takes 3. But if it's tails, you take 3 and your opponent takes 5. It's one of those. And he gets the heads and puts me automatically on a 3-card hand. Basically just like destroying my setup. I did have Lilies for next turn to C8. And I do remember possibly... Oh, I forgot to put the timer. It's all right. I do remember seeing... like my hand was just bad. And I think I just... I'm just not allowed to set up. But I could be wrong. Let's peek this 3-card hand. Yeah. Fez, buddy. I think I opt in to play the Fez, which is like something I don't want to do, just because it's like a good a free 2-prize Pokemon for the Lucario player. So I opt in to grab my. I believe I'm opting to grab my 3rd Dreepy. Because this matchup is so fast and they can just get through my Dreepies really quick, I choose to just get more set up with that. And since they're a lot faster player, they get down to like 3 to 2 prizes really fast. And having your Dusknoir, Dusclops ready to go, it's like kind of pointless at this time because they're ready. You're just giving them a faster way to win at this point. So I opt in to just grab another Dreepy and just kind of just go from there. And then I'm just gonna have to hit him with the Itchy and give him just 20 damage right there, and I think that's all I can do. I would have loved the Lilies I had in hand last turn, but my hand is not so great with Dark Energy and a Fez, I believe it's remaining in there. So, and yeah, just hit the one with the Itchy, passes, goes to him. And this is where he gets kind of like set up super fast. As you can see, 2 Gibites, being able to Champion Call, obviously grabs a Roselia, possibly another Roselia, but I think he opts in just to get a 3rd attacker, which is unnecessary. It's just best to just grab another Roselia for this matchup. But he does have Lily's Determination, so it's kind of like, all right, fair game. You might as well. You probably could have grabbed another. You're probably going to grab another Roselia, but I think just guaranteeing 2 Roselias on board would have been a lot better than a guarantee a third attacker. But at the end of the day, his board is a lot more set up than I am because he can guarantee another. He can guarantee a Cynthia's Guard Chomp next turn. He can start swinging. So he plays Cynthia's Power Weight, which again, I'm not too worried. In my mind, I'm thinking he only plays 1 Stadium just to counter the jamming tower if a player is playing it. So I'm not too worried. And again, this is where I hesitate playing the Fez, but like my hand is so bad. I have the jamming tower in hand now. My hand is completely dead. I can't evolve whatsoever. And yeah, it's pretty much bad. I opted to play another Drippy Down, pass, and forgot to give him his prize. Evolves to the Roserade, giving him extra 30 damage. Champion Call, he's about to do it 3 times. And probably get the last Roselia. Well, he has a 3/3 line. I remember that for sure. But he plays another Roselia. 4 Pokemon on the bench. Can opt in to put another one down if needed. And I think he will boss up my Fez and just take it out of commission. I think that's what he does, honestly. I could be wrong. I think that is boss in hands, yeah. Boss up the Fez and just knocks it out. So at this point, I am struggling. What can keep me in this game is Rare Candy, Dragapult to Crispin. You know, I got the Crispin. I just don't have the Dragapult. And that's what's hard. I mean, I think I could opt in to grab the Fez and just hope I grab the Crispin and Dragapult, but that's just giving them another liability, and he does take 2 more prizes. So he's already at 3. So at this point, my Duskull is kind of like useless. So I opt in to get the Crispin and just pass, save it for next turn. Hopefully I could top deck a Dragapult. And it's not looking good for me at all. I don't think there's really much I can do because with that Harlequin taking me down to three cards in hand turn 2 with not a complete board set up, it's really tough. Really, really tough. And as you can see, he's just getting more and more set up. Opts in to put a 4th attacker down on the bench just to say like game over. And yeah, it's pretty much GG for me. If like really, there's nothing much I can do at this point. I mean, I could just like concede and just be like, all right, you got a good game. There's, he takes another. He's down to 2. If like my only good play is like Boss, Crispin, Dragapult. I mean, I could put up the Dracloak. I have Ultra Ball now. I could play Ultra Ball and Boss and try to take away one of the Roselias, and then that like gives me an out. But I did not also have energy, so playing the Crispin is necessary. But there's nothing I can do at this point because I use my supportive return. The only way I had a way to stay in this is if I boss up the Roserade and just hit it and put 60 on the other Roserade. I would have put 50 on the Roserade and put 10 on the Gibble just so I can still take like a 3 prize turn if necessary. if possible, or two price turn. So I opt in to attach there, and I'll recon, opt in to get the Pokepad. Just grab another Dragapult at this point, because Dusknoir. Actually no. This I see the line. Dracloak, not Dracloak. Dusknoir, pop off the Roserade, block it off. The only way this would have been a lot better is if I found the Dusknoir, boss up the Roserade, Dusknoir, the Roserade on bench, and 60 on the Gibite without the Rocky the Rocky energy. Because they still have an out. He takes a prize, I take a prize, and I opt in to put all 60 on the Roserade. So I mean, with this it's not ideal because they still have an out, and he does have it in hand. He already have Power Pro, retreat, and he hits me for 320. Game's over. He takes round 2, and we move on to the next one. So I'll see you guys at round 3. Alrighty, guys, we're here, round 3. We're doing something crazy. We are rock, paper, scissoring for first or second. Obviously, he got the win, and he's decided to go first. This is a Dragapult mirror. The clock has already started, so we took some time to get that rock, paper, scissors in. So yeah, Dragapult mirror is not as bad. It's basically who can set up first, and it's kind of a race. It's kind of one of those things. I'm not sure if you noticed, but he's kind of playing with see-through sleeves, which is against the rules. But this is all for fun, and and again, he wasn't playing for any malicious reasons. He's just a great player. This is actually a new player. Chance, he's been coming out very recently, more frequently, and he's just trying to learn the game. I think this is like third, maybe, league event, like that's like for points and stuff. So again, he's trying to figure it out. Obviously, I could have been cruel and just be like, hey, he's playing with the illegal sleeves, but why do that? We're all just having fun, man. And like I said, he's not doing it for any specific reasons. And I do remember the judges pulling them to the sides after this match, and then them deck checking him and telling him the reason why see-through sleeves are not wanted in tournament play. And for those who don't know, the reason is because each card isn't specific. Like each card, when they're printed, doesn't have the same printing specifics. For instance, a lot of people watching, a lot of people know that collecting is a thing, right? And a lot of people do is making sure the borders are perfect and whatnot. There's no white line. There's no nothing, right? With those imperfections can come into TCG. So if you have the see-through sleeves, you basically, let's just say one of your boss's orders is more top heavy than bottom heavy. So there's like a thin border on the top and then the thick border on the bottom, and being able to see that in your prizes and be like, oh, I know a boss's order is a prize, or one of your cards has like a white little dot in the corner, and it's like, oh, I know that's my ace spec, whatever it can be. That's why it is highly recommended to always play with non-see-through cards. There's a lot of sleeves that are like solid colors, but you can still see like the Pokemon logo, and because of this, those sleeves are like if at most. But again, like I said, I didn't feel like he was doing it for any malicious reasons, so I just decided just to keep playing. I didn't really stressed about it, because I remember when I first started, I thought having see-through sleeves would be the coolest, because like, bro, like you're playing the Pokemon game with the actual Pokemon background, because there's no sleeves like that, right? So I remember doing that, and then me getting penalized for it in like my later down run of like my first or third or whatever, like when I was first starting. So not too bad. But just a heads up for all you new players out there watching this video, if you decided to want to go through see-through sleeves just to be able to play with like the vintage look, like how you used to play when you were a kid, I would advise against it, because it is not tournament ready. So I opted to play two Badoos because I was worried about the Duskull becoming the Dusclops, and then just getting the free, just popping the Dusclops into my Badoo, and then stopping my item lock, and he puts down his own item lock, and then he's basically getting more set up. It's one of those strategic plays that a lot of Dragapult does, especially with the Dusknoir line, because whoever keeps continuing using the the Igipollen wins. So so I opted to play a second Badoo, which could be very bad for me. And because what's to say he just bosses rare candies. I'm not sure if he plays rare candies in this, but he can rare candy Crispin, and then save, and then pass a turn, and then boss Zord's next turn, taking away my Dreepy, and then taking like a 3-prize turn by taking away my 2 Dreepies, or just later down the road. So yeah, there's that. There's a lot of things that could go wrong with my board state. I only have 2 attackers. I opted to go with another Duskull just to like be more aggressive and put more threat on his board. And as you see, I played I use Lilies into 3 buddies, opting to play all 3 of them. I remember thinking like, oh, that was such a mistake. I should have just kept 1 for later. And I remember thinking I think I needed that 1 Badoo later down the road, but I couldn't. I discarded all of them, so it was kind of pointless. So now it's his turn. He is basically trying to set up as much as possible. I think he's with his Pokepad. Wait, did he play the Pokepad? No, he can't play Pokepad because I Itchy-Polled him. What did he play? What is he doing? How is he searching his deck right now? Oh, he petroled. He petroled for the Lily's Determination to get set up, which is, I mean, I don't know what his hand looked like, but if his hand is pretty much useless, drawing a new 8 set of cards is actually better than passing or trying to use another supporter. I actually do think he had Crispin in his hand. So oh, I'm sorry, he Meowth. He Meowth, not Petrol. I'm sorry. So he Meows, grabs the Lilies, plays the Lilies. I'm sorry, I totally missed that play. I don't even know what the heck I was looking at, but yes. So he just basically drew into a whole bunch of items that he can't use. No way. Oh, sorry. No way of finding a Dracloak. Dracloak would have been game changer, or at least keep him in the game. He opts into he plays Jamming Tower, but unfortunately, I already have Jamming Tower. I tell him he can't play, unfortunately, and he gives me the thumbs up, thinking like, "Thank you for walking me through it." And just like I said, just a nice player, just trying to learn, trying to figure out the game. Plays Pokepad again. Still can't play it because the itchy pollen. So he opts in just to play his own itchy pollen and locks me out of items. So put the 10 damage on it. Drew. I play my own lilies, and then hope I draw some evolutions. And that's kind of what you're gonna trying to. That's what you're trying to do with this deck. So yeah, ideally it's just trying to build as much board stability as much as you can before your other opponent. He already has the Dusknoir. So the worry of me putting an energy on one of my Treepees, I mean, he could get Dusknoir next turn, takes me out of it, and we're still in this race. So even if he's not fully set up, he can still set me back, especially if I only get one Dracloak. But I did not. I get two Dracloaks. I do have energy in hand. I have a Crispin, so regardless, I am safe. So I opted to put energy and to this Dracloak, and I will recon. I opt in to grab the boss. Boss is really good. I don't have to attack into this Badoo. I opt in to take the Pokepad. I know I'm itchy, so I can't play it at this moment. Apologies on the cough. So I just itchy him back, and then now it is up to him. Let's see what he has. Oh my gosh. Where is these yawns and stuff are coming from, man? So his hand is pretty much dead once again. So this is where I was talking about he had Crispin and he had Petrol in hand, and I think he opts in to play the Petrol to grab another Lily's Determination, because again, this hand is dead and there's no way of board progression, and just to potentially be able to draw next turn is beneficial than just passing and just adding more energies to board. So you just opts in to play the Petrol to search in for I believe the Lily's Determination is what he grabs. I know it's like counterintuitive, but it's like it's better to do a play like that to do more draw search next turn, because the potential Badoo is coming. Even if he pops this Dusknoir into my active Badoo, he still has to face my second Badoo, because I will more likely itchy pollen him back. So yeah, I mean, there's unfortunately there's not much he can do there at that point with his current hand. And I think he's just gonna pass it here because there's not much. I think he's just constantly thinking. That's typically what I do when I shuffle. I like to shuffle and think about my strategic plays. And so he's looking through his hand. There's really nothing he can do because of the itchy pollen, and I think he's just gonna opt in to just pass. Yeah, unfortunate. So yeah, he just passes back to me. I get 20 damage on my active. I draw. It's a psychic energy. I can go full turbo now. I do have boss in hand. I could boss. At this point, I'm just looking for a Dusknoir or Dusknoir, because if I could Dusknoir and smack his take away his both Dragapults, then we're in this game, What's the second card? I didn't see it. An Ultra Ball. Okay, so I am still item locked, so I have 2 outs to grab next turn once this Badoo is gone. So I opt in to play Crispin just to get my board set up. And I think that's just the correct play. because then I also have another psychic in hand. So regardless, I have a guarantee attacker next turn. More likely just gonna itchy pollen this, and just play it safe. Um, I would have loved to board wipe him with the Dreepies, and if I just had one Dusclops, I think that the game would have been a lot faster because I would have been more favored because I could have just uh, uh, Dusclops into his Dreepy, boss up a Dreepy, and attack the Dreepy, and with Phantom Dive, putting two, and then putting the other damage on the Badoo, and then there you go. And I just take three prizes right there. So I Badoo him, and he's looking at his hands, nothing he can do. So he will opt in to play his Lily's Determination got last turn with the Petrol. And just like that, I evolve my Dragapult to I evolve my Dracloak to Dragapult to ensure it doesn't get the potential boss rare candy. I mean, you can't play rare candy regardless, so I am safe. I didn't have to evolve to Dragapult, but it's just for safety for any shenanigans going on. Maybe he could have found the Dusknoir and pop it on the one that has 2 energy. Like I said, regardless, I do have Psychic and the Dragapult in hand if I never evolved it, and I would have still had a second attacker, so I would have been safe. So he will get a fresh new 8 cards. Hopefully he can find some evolutions. And finds none once again. 2 buddies, 2 ultra balls. The jamming tower comes back into his hand, and a Clefairy. Nothing useful whatsoever. And I think at this point he's deciding like, oh my god, this itchy pollen is just torture. So I'm just gonna have to get rid of it altogether. And I remember him popping, as we're gonna see right here. He's gonna Dusclops my Badoo on the bench. We both take a prize. Oop. And then he's just going to itchy and then just KO my active Badoo. And just like that, boop. And then he takes a second prize. And I just throw out my Dragapult. I have Clefairy. I opt in to play the Clefairy and attach a fire energy to it just to have a potential backup attacker just in case he pops off. I opt in to get this unfair stamp, but I can't play it yet. I boss up the Dreepy with the 2 energies, and then I just start smacking away his board. So I put 10 damage on the Badoo to knock it out, to take 2 prizes, and I think I just put all 5 on the Dreepy. And just like that, we have taken... we have 2 prizes, so we have 3 prizes remaining. He has 4. He only has 1 Dreepy left. He is looking for a rare candy Dragapult. There's nothing much he can do, unfortunately. I mean, he can still attack my Clefairy if he has Crispin, which I don't know if he plays 2 Meowths, so he can... there's outs if he has the Meowth, because he has Ultra Ball and search for the Meowth. He has Fez to do more draw search. Yeah, there's a lot he could potentially do. He can search out for another Dreepy if he can find a way to stall this turn. 2 rare candies in the bottom of the deck, not something you want to see. But more likely he is going to grab a Dracloak, possibly, but again, it's just pointless because it has 40 HP left, and I can still snipe it from bench and take my 3 prize turn. All I need is punch the Latias or punch the Meowth. So if he retreats out of it, I can still boss take my 3 prize and win the game. It's one of those unfortunate bad bad board states for my opponent. And option to Ultra Ball away the Jamming Tower and the second Badoo. To more likely, I mean, if he has Crispin, then he's pretty much in a good, solid state. But I do have the Psychic Energy in hand. Just options to grab the Dragapult, so denying the fact that he has 2 Meowths. So just takes it away. I think his list does play 1, because at the time my list only played 1. Now I play 2. It's just such a beneficial card for late. Like you play 1 early stage and you have 1 for late game. It's just so beneficial. Just like that. I mean, he can recon. He can also Fez. He has none of that. He has boss. He just drew boss. Hasn't played a supporter yet. Option to actually leave the boss and tries to get set up another Dreepy, which is okay. And he will Fez for 3. Team watch it, unfair stamp, and then he can unfair stamp me and then bring me down to 2, and hopefully I don't have it, which is a good play. Apologies. Which is a strong play, actually. Just to see more potential cards. He plays down his own Clefairy. And he hasn't played a supporter, so if he gets Crispin out of this, then he's in a pretty good spot. Unfair stamps me down to 2. If I don't get the nuts, then I'm pretty much safe. If he gets Crispin, he can Crispin into the Clefairy, smack my Dragapult out of existence, and then hope I don't have it next turn. And that's how he could stay in the game. But for myself, yeah, it's just top decking a Dragapult and an Energy. And I also play Hilda for the specific reason for late game. And just like that, I just pull Hilda. And then like Hilda is just an like automatic win. So he will opt in to put the Clefairy up in the active. Did he draw? I'm not sure if he drew the Crispin, but yeah, he drew the Crispin. So everything was coming aligned. And like it just gave him an extra step back into the game. So he does power up the Clefairy just to knock out my Dragapult. So and just like that. I mean, with Hilda in my hand, it's pretty much game over. I knew I have a Psychic in deck left, and I have a Dragapult left in deck, so that searches both the cards I need. And Lily's Clefairy, it has only 190 HP, so my 200 Phantom Dime goes through, and taking a knock, and I get to spread 40 damage. Cloak giving me the win. So I put up my Cloak up in the active, and I draw for turn, and I just evolve both my Duskclops, and then play my Hildas, Dragapult, search for the Psychic Energy, just like that, and I attack, and then put all the rest of the damage there, and taking a 3 prize turn, and then giving me round number 3, just like that. We're moving on. So look at that. I'll see you guys in round 4. Okay. All right, guys, we're here in round 4. We're playing against Straight Pult. We're setting up and flipping the coin. Let's see what we get. Looks like it is heads. So he opts in to go first, and I'm going second. So it's an ideal. This is a perfectly good, because ideally I like to go second every turn. I just couldn't get on the wave of going first. You know, everybody was saying go first for the Dragapult, but I just can't justify it. I'm just always bricking my first hands. I look at my first hand is just trash. And just needing that lilies or playing a supporter is super beneficial. And I do actually mess up here. I actually do something so wrong. I put down my active Pokemon thinking it was a basic, but it wasn't a basic. It was actually a Dusclops, and I fumbled the ball here so hard. So I should have checked. I should have actually made sure, but technically it could have been like a big penalty or something like that. I'm not sure. We never called a judge. I just simply shuffled my hand, drew another 7 cards, and put down a basic. And I was kind of going fast about it, and I felt embarrassed, and I felt like he might call me for cheating or something. But ideally, it was not the case. It was just simply I was simply going too fast and not realizing it. And yeah, it was just like something you have to like. I had never had happened to me ever. But ideally, we're just waiting for the round to start. So with the straight pull against the Pult Noir, I do technically have a good. I'm sort of favored. But looking at that, I just realized this is. So I just realized that I have a mulligan here, and didn't know what to do. So I just shuffled my hand back into the deck, drew 7 more cards. I mean, technically I should have brought my prizes too, but I didn't. So this whole game was kind of like iffy. It was a big mistake. We should have called a judge over. But we just resolved it ourselves. I just left the 6 prizes. It's fine. Look at my hand. I just looked for the first basic, put it down, realized I had a Dreepy in the back. I should have put the Dreepy instead, staring at a Maractus in front of me. So ideally it was not good whatsoever. He has Buddy Buddy Poffin, plays it down. If we call the judge over, I'm more likely the outcome would have been a 2 prize penalty for being able to see, or a potential warning. But the worst it could be, I think it'd be a 2 prize penalty for knowing what his active Pokemon is to begin with, and then being able to play around that. Like obviously, I could have not played Latias and just put Dreepy and just have attackers on my board. So the Maractus isn't as beneficial. So yeah, that could have been a thing. But I was playing fast and I was playing, I felt bad, so I was just playing fast and I was just trying to correct my mistake as fast as possible without, thinking my player think I'm doing something malicious, which I'm not. It was a constant mistake. So I played down the Dreepy, I played down the Duskull, I put the Buddy Buddy, opting to get a 2/2 in this line. Actually, I opted to get a Badoo just to item lock him, just for him not to get the board state. So yeah, so Dreepy, Badoo. He has Lily's Determination for next turn. Decided to go back in by playing Risky and then Lily's Determination. So if you guys don't know what Risky Ruins do, basically if any non-dark Pokemon enters the bench, non-basic dark Pokemon enters the bench, it takes 20 damage automatically. Really good for the Monkey Dory spread, and just being able to make those 70 HP into Phantom Dive range hits. They go from 70 to 50, so it's really strong in the Dragapult list. Seeing fresh new 8 cards, finds a Dracloak, attach return, Obviously, this is my first turn, so I can't evolve yet, but I have him for next turn. I Ichi Pollen, and I fail this Buddy Buddy just to thin my deck, and I do shuffle. Because I did not go inside the deck, I still have to shuffle because it declares, it's what stated at the end of the card declaring that you have played that card. So there's that, and he plays Lily's Determination. He is Lily, draws 8 new cards. So there you go, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8. Able to find a Dracloak. He's in the race so far. Clefairy and Dark Energy. I think he opts in to grab the Dark Energy. Since Risky is in play, he can do more shenanigans. He attaches for turn to the Maractus to retreat lock me, and he puts 20 damage there, so I can't rare candy Dragapult attach return shenanigans. So I evolve both my Treepies into Dracloaks. At this point, I have a more superior board state, but he does control the board. He does control the game because of the Maractus being able to lock me out of attackers until he's able to fully build up his board. He opts in to play the I opt in to grab the Crispin instead. I do have boss. I should have boss up a Dreepy instead. But I think I opt in just to get board set up here. Opt in to grab Psychic and Fire. Thinking about it, I think it could have been a smart play to attach to the Latias for it to be a potential attacker. I do get boss item retreat lock, and I'm just kind of thinking like attaching to the Latias and crisping later would have been a good play. I would have definitely took 60 damage to myself, but at least I would have lost a lot of resources. So I'm not sure if it would have been a good play or not. I mean, the best play would have just grabbed my Dusknoir and just pop it onto the Maractus. So at this point, he's just building up his board. Looking what he can do. I think he opts in to grab a Monkey Dory, but he already attaches for turn, so you'll boss and like now retreat lock me with this Latias and just control the game from here. Recon for 2. I think my only out is basically trying to get to the Dusknoir. I am eligible to play candies. I think I'm just kind of searching. So I opt in to play a monkey because I do have dark in hand, and just start trying to hopefully maybe just throw all the damage counters onto the Maractus and be able to knock it with just Monkey Dory spread. With straight pull, they do play 2. In my list, I only currently play 2. I mean, playing 1 with the current list I'm playing in this video. Right now, I do play 2 with Dusknoirs. So there we go. I found the Dark Energy, and then I will move over this 20 damage on the Latias because I feared that he was going to retreat next turn with a Crispin and Dragapult and hit and get like a 3 prize turn. So I opted in to move the damage from the Latias because I didn't want that to happen. So I opt in to grab Hilda. I think at this point I realized Dusknoir is prize, so having the out of using Dusknoir to take the Maractus is kind of out there. It happens. So like my best play is get it to 60 damage with Monkey Dory spread, and then punch it with the Maractus, and then punch it with the Dusclops and be able to knock it out from there. So yeah, saving my Latias, passing, giving it to him. Decides to recon. I think he options for the Meowth. Recon once again. Option for the Badoo. And okay, so you grab the Buddy to be able to thin it out with the Ultra Ball. Now he's just kind of thinking like, what should I discard here? I think he's discarded the Fire Energy. I could be wrong. No energy is prized. I think this list is playing 4-3-3. And I think he opts into actually just grab a Monkey Dory. And then he... Oh, so he opts into Ultra Ball and then discard his Judge. I mean, it makes sense because at this point he controls the game with his Retreat Lock Pokemon, Maractus. So he opts in to grab the Monkey Dory. Attached to turn to the Monkey Dory. And, you know, start making it more difficult for me as a player because now he's spreading damage back and he does play two. So if he gets the second one down the road, he is potentially winning. He is definitely winning the Monkey Dory war. And I just technically lose because of all that spread coming back to me. I can only move 30. He's moving back 60. It's kind of one of those like difficult board states. So ideally, what you want to do is now get rid of the Monkey Dory first before attacking a Dragapult. So he moves 30 to the Dracloak, and then he will corner me into to my Latias. I play Pokepad. I think at this point I am now searching for Dusknoir and realize it's a prize. I didn't prize check it last turn, and that's when I realized I'm like, God dang it. There's not too much I can do now. Because now every time I move 30 damage to the Maractus, I'm potentially getting 30 back always. So it's just going to be constantly 30 until he's able to get the second Monkey Dory if he puts it down. And now it's 30-60 and he's obviously going to be he's going to continuously win. So yeah, so there's that. Not too much. I think the best thing I could do is just evolve to my Dragapult. I do believe I have a Dragapult in hand. Yes, I do. Just evolve to it. Recon first. Decide to grab Unfair Stamp for next turn if he takes a knock. Ultra Ball and Night Stretcher. I think I opt in for the Ultra Ball. Yeah, I think that's the Ultra Ball. No, Night Stretcher. I think the Night Stretcher just in case. Attach return, evolve to my Dragapult. And then I move 20 damage off of the Latias. At this point, I should just move the Monkey Dory damage off of itself and move it to the Maractus. And just sacrifice my Latias as a potential two-prizer. Because keeping Monkey Dory is more beneficial than leaving the damage on the Monkey Dory for later play, because now he can move all 30 to the Monkey Dory, evolve to Dragapult, retreat, and then swing away and take away my Monkey Dory with and punching my Latias and then taking like a 4 prize turn next turn, you know. So yeah, his board is incredibly strong right now with 3 Dracloaks, 2 of them already have energies. So now he's just kind of just waiting and seeing like when is it a good time to attack. So he opts in for the second Monkey Dory. Now he will Crispin to grab the third, another Fire and another Dark Energy. and just start powering up and start being more and more set up as possible, so there's no guarantee for return. I think at this point he is now evolving. So he moves all 30 to the Monkey Dory. He will move 20 to the second Dracloak. And then I will corner. Okay. At this point, there's really not much I can do since I prize the Dusknoir. I can't get out of this. If I had Dusknoir, I possibly had a chance, because he would it would activate him to be more of aggressive, and I would like punching my Latias unless he had Boss and Fire Energy in hand. So I opt in to recon. I think my only out is just kind of just like get set up as much as possible, and then and what's it called, and just let it and just wait until he decides to remove the Maractus from play. So as long as like my board is not totally wiped, and at this point I'm thinking like where to move this damage, and I mean at this point I'm like, oh well, whatever I move back, it's gonna come back. So I decided to put it back on the 30 on the Monkey Dory, and opt in to play Ultra Ball just to see what I have left in deck. And I'll grab the second Dragapult to make sure I don't get knocked out here. Like I said, just get as set up as possible to where I can't get board wipe. I still have attackers to still potentially be in this match. That means I lose all my my draw, and I decided to boss up this guy just so potentially give him, hopefully he doesn't have energy needed to retreat. Just buy me a turn from this item lock. Because what could happen is that I can now, if he's unable to retreat, because at this point, if he doesn't have energy to retreat, I can bring up my Dragapult, move the 30 from the Dragapult onto the bench, and just and put it to his second Monkey Dory, and then knocking the Monkey Dory and the Dragapult, taking it out. Actually, I would honestly, yeah, if I needed to use another supporter, but at this point I don't think I need to use another supporter other than Boss. So I'll probably, if I don't have Boss, I think the play is just take the Dracloak off the active and the Monkey Dory. If I did have Boss, I would send up both Monkey Dories and then just try KO both of them and letting him have the draw, but he won't be able to, he will lose the Monkey Dory race, and I can just constantly come back, especially with the two Dragapults. So he did have energy, and I think he's debating to go back to the Maractus or to start. Or to just go back into or just start attacking, be more aggressive now, because now he can move and take Latias and Monkey Dory, eliminating my Monkey Dory. Sorry, I'm a little stuffy. And he will take a 3 prize turn. I'll bring him I'll punch him. I can't move damage backs. I think at this time I only had 1 dark energy. I played 3-3-1, but now I play 3-3-2. So he decides the Monkey Dory, puts it on the Clops. And I think he opts in just to take. I think he opts in to take still the Monkey Dory. The Dusclops just makes it easy to still take a 3 prize turn next turn if possible. Oh, so actually he opts in to keep the Monkey Dory, which is smart to move all the Monkey Dory damage away from his monkey. So now I'm not able to knock it out. At this point, I'm just more excited that I'm out of the retreat lock, opting in what to play. So I decided to put a Badoo before locking it in. Grabbed. I have lilies. I have energy to attack. I have Unfair Stamp in hand, I believe. So I think the correct play is to attach Psychic Energy to the Monkey Dory, Unfair Stamp him, and punch him. And just like move 30 and to the Dragapult, and then just punch the Dragapult with Mind Bend, and then hopefully he doesn't have the energy needed to attack with his second Dragapult, you know? Maybe that's like another way out. Maybe I should have done that. Maybe I do that. I just can't recall. I'm lying up something. I just Unfair Step. So no, I should have went for the Mind Bend play. But just because the 2 Monkey Dory just spread back. I mean, he could heal everything off the Monkey Dory. I generate on that side. So technically, it's still favored for him. So yeah, he did take 3 prizes. So I'll give him that. I forgot to give him that. Just like now I don't remember what my hand looks like, so I'm just thinning my deck as much as possible. I decided to go back in. I'm looking at my hand. Oh, okay, so here's what I have. I'm still praying for the no energy in hand, right? I Unfair Stamp him. I decided to just Lily's Clefairy. I know he can potentially still get the 3 prize card next turn, but I'm just kind of hoping he does not have the energy needed, and I can just not generate any damage counters on his side of the board. Because if with the 2 Monkey Dories, it's pretty much impossible. So, just debating it to move. I move 30 all to the Dragapult, and I just knock it out, making sure no damage comes back to me while healing some of mine. And I take my first 2 prizes. He's opting in to put Maractus, but I think he is all right. So he puts up the Monkey Dory instead. It's a better play because Maractus needs 2 retreat. Has 2 retreat costs, and it has only 1 energy, so he needs an energy to attack. So at this point, he is just searching for 1 energy, and that's a Psychic Energy or Fire Energy. I think it's Fire Energy he's needing. So, and basically he just has it because he has Crispin, plays the Dark and the Fire, and just like that, he has enough energies to attack me, taking the 3 prizes. So attach there, retreat. Boom, and then takes the Phantom Dive on. hits the Clefairy, takes away my Badoo, taking me to 2-2, making me lose my 4th round. Well, it's not over until it's over, so I'll see you in round 5. All right, guys, we're here in round 5. This time playing Team Rocket's Mewtwo. Alrighty, we're here. Mewtwo against Dusknoir. It's not that it's like 50-50, I want to say. Some people will say it's more favorable because you can play the Fairy. It's weak against Psychic. You have 1 prize. It's a very strong deck, but the only issue with a Team Rocket's Mewtwo is that you brick, and you brick hard, so it makes the deck like pointless. It's like you have all these supporters and all these item cards to benefit the Team Rocket's deck, but for some reason it just doesn't flow well, and it's just gonna like it disrupts you more than your opponent. You have like the best and only support disruption card, but yet you can't do much. So we can both play. Time has already been started for all players in the room. I was able to grab my Badoo. He is going first. I'm going second. Basically, hand is so trash. I think that was a little determination in my hand that I can do stuff with. Not looking good for me whatsoever. If that's not Lilies, then that's good. This Buddy Poffin just saved my life. I think I opt in to just grab 2 Dreepies. At this point, I'm no longer prize checking because I have a 2-2 record, and it's like a slim chance of me actually getting into day 2. At this point, I'm just trying to like play for fun, play for points, and I try to get as high as placing as I can. I can always bubble in to top 8. But it's always very slim. It always depends on how many players are IDing. This is the time. This was the first cup right after the rules have been changed, where it was basically whoever has the lowest seed gets not choose first, second, and the person with the highest seed gets to choose first or second throughout their whole game, throughout their whole rest of the tournament. And so a lot of people were actually playing testing. I remember that. And so for me, it's just trying out and seeing if people will stop IDing and just play harder. Apologies. So I did opt in to get the 2 Dreepies and the what's it called, a attach return. I did not have Lilies in hand, unfortunately. I think I have a Hilda in hand though. I have to relook at my hand. So he opts in to play the Clefairy right away, which is kind of like a big misplay. You don't want to do that because it makes your Arianas weaker. Instead of drawing 8, you're drawing 6 now because if you guys don't know what Team Rocket's Ariana does, basically Team Rocket's Ariana is draw until you have 6 cards. If you have all your Pokemon on Team Rockets, then you draw up to 8 cards. But since he put down this Lily's Clefairy, you can only draw up to 6. So he's opting. His hand looks like it's as bad as mine. So we're in this fight together. He opts in to play Team Rocket's Petrol to then potentially, I'm thinking he's going to grab this Ariana and then have it for next turn to be able to draw more cards, as he only has 4. I think that is the correct play. I think the more correct play was to get a Team Rocket receiver and just see what he needs next turn, because you could always top deck the Team Rocket's Ariana, or you can top deck something that's more important. You never know. So yeah, and then Team Rockets, and then use the receiver to find something that's more beneficial, or put me down to 3 cards. I think having the Team Rockets receiver was a better call than actually forcing yourself to be stuck with this. This Ariana. He does have the Stadium. Team Rockets. He just opts in just to attack. He could have done more. He could put the Stadium down, draw 2 more cards. Just the thin. He took his first prize, which was a Lilies. I'm looking at my hand. Pretty eh. So I've grab myself a Dracaloak. At this point, I'm trying to see if rare candy is possible. And there's only one rare candy in the list. Not my list. I have 2 rare candies in my list, but only 1 rare candy in deck. So my out to having rare candy Dragapult this turn is very slim. So I'm thinking of pivoting. So I opt in to just evolve the active instead of the one on the bench because that was the play, and just grab a second. Decided to get rid of my Dragapult and my Night Stretcher here, which could have been a big misplay. Actually, could be a huge misplay, but I needed the 2 energies. I think the last card was a boss. I also could have just waited. But at this time, I decided just to get my board set up. So I get I get the Meowth. I get Lily's Determination. I will be first attach my Psychic Energy to the Dracloak, and then Lily's Determination from there. And then hopefully see 8 new potential better cards. The reason why I attached to the active is so I could still have a Pokemon with you never guaranteed that you're going to see another Dracloak with these lilies. You can always whiff. So I just want to make sure I have a Dracloak ready for next turn, if possible. At the time, I think I am playing with 2 Badoos in this list instead of the one I play now. But let's see, this fresh new 4, 8 cards. Second, I have 2 Dreepies. I opt in to play another one, I believe, and I would love a Dust Clops. I would love to have that, but I don't have a Dust Skull to play with. So I recon to see what I can get, a Crispin and an Ultra Ball. I think I opt in to grab the Ultra Ball to thin out some cards here, and then what did I grab? I think I grabbed Crispin instead. Yeah, Crispin. Actually, looking at I have 2 Psychic, 1 in. I have 2. I mean, yeah. I don't know if that was a good play, but I think grabbing the Ultra Ball and just grabbing another Dracloak would have been a better play, or trying to get down the Dust Skull. And I just pass it up to him. He plays down the Articuno. He's able to get it. He has 6 cards in hand. He plays the Team Rocket's Factory. He evolves to Snide up. So now he has 4 cards in hand. And I think he's debating putting down the Mewtwo. Let's see what he gets. I think the Team Rocket's deck would be a lot more beneficial if Spidops can put a basic energy. So he opts in to play the Ariana, so he should only grab up to 6 cards, but he accidentally grabs the up to 8 cards, which is a huge penalty right there, but I didn't catch it. So we just continue playing. Just because the Lily's Clefairy on bench does not allow him to grab up to 8 cards. He's only allowed to grab up to 6. And technically it wouldn't be a prize penalty because he could just say, "Oh, let me just Team Rocket's Factory then," and then it would have been safe, right? It would have been safe. But he doesn't. I think he does. So regardless, it's always good to make sure he takes another prize, bringing him to 4 prizes remaining. I have 6. I Jamming Tower his Team Rocket's Factory. I have energy. I have Dragapult to attack. Attach return. I recon. Search for another recon. And then let's see what we get. And then I will definitely attack with the Dragapult. And I'm just thinking I haven't played a supporter, so having Boss would be beneficial to take away the Clefairy, so then he can't really one-shot me next turn. Plus, he's also needing energy. So, the reason Team Rocket deck doesn't perform well is because it's searching for energies quite often, and it just bricks a lot of the times. And right here, I accidentally went too fast, and my top two cards gets revealed, and it's just one of those like call the judge. The judge is coming over, talking about what went through. So basically, as I was trying to put the card underneath, I went too fast and I put dusk. My hand knocked over the two cards, revealing it. Judge is just asking, "Hey, is this person? Was this accurate? Did what he's saying is that to your recollection?" And he obviously says yes. So obviously, what he's gonna do, the judge. So it becomes just a warning, just making sure everything in the game is supposed to be accurate. So we're just gonna be. She's gonna leave the bottom two cards in the deck. Leave the bottom two cards on the table. Shuffle the rest, and then put those on top of those two cards because I did recon, and those two cards are supposed to stay at the bottom. So she just offers. She just issues a warning, as it wasn't malicious intent. It was just something that happened as my hand knocked over the cards, and just play be more aware next time and more careful. So as you can see, she's just shuffling her hand. She's shuffling my deck, except for the last two cards because those two cards came from the Dragapult. At this point, I already grabbed my recon, so everything else in the deck should be random at this point, and I'm just waiting. So yeah. All right. It's just a warning, and then we can proceed to begin. I put down the Dusknoir. I've evolved to Dragapult, putting another Dreepy down, and then using boss's orders to bring up the Lily's Clefairy. And then putting the only Pokemon I can put damage to is the Spinup, so I just opted to put 60 all in on the Spinups, making it. And he was a little confused. He was like, "Wait, my Team Rockets," and he's like, "Oh no, I'm sorry. Yep, you're right. It's only 2 basics, not 2 evolutions." So he's just debating on what to put up. I think the best thing for him to do is put up the Mimikyu because it's free retreat. Always put the free retreat. He's able now. At this point, it's just like debating: should I knock the Mimikyu and the Spinups together? Should I punch the Team Rocket's Mewtwo, or just take away both Spinups? I think the correct play is just to take away the Mimikyu because I think it can do the most damage to me. With the spread, he knocks out my Jamming Tower by playing Team Rocket's Factory, which, if you guys don't know, Team Rocket's Factory, if you played a Team Rocket supporter, you get to draw 2 more cards. So yeah, he's gonna Ultra Ball for, and at this point when he put I think when he put down the Ultra Ball, in my mind I thought he had a second Lily's Clefairy in deck, and I thought that was coming down because all he needs is Clefairy and energy, the Team Rocket's energy, and there we go. He knocks me, he knocks down my Dusknoir, and taking a 3 prize turn as well. I did take one. Did I take 2 prizes? Yeah, I took 2 prizes. Okay, there we go. Apologies on the cough. Yeah, so there's basically doesn't know what to do. He opts to attach his maximum belt on the other Spinups, and then Team Rocket's Archer's meme, which is Team Rocket's Archer has, if one of your Team Rocket's Pokemon were knocked out last turn, you get to shuffle your hand, and your opponent shuffles his hand into the deck. You draw 5, your opponent draws 3. So basically an unfair stamp, but specifically for the Team Rocket decks, and they can use multiple, and they're allowed to free up their respect. So yeah, I think at this point he's just kind of like thinking the best strategy. He has yet to find any of his Team Rocket's energy. I think and I believe he does put the energy on his Spite Ups with the maximum belt, and then uses Spite Ups ability to put it another energy on itself, and then be able to swing for 20, 40, 60, 80, maybe 180. I forget what the Spite Ups math is. Like, is it 30? Is it 20? I can't recall. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5. So that's 150. So 180, I think. And he's just powering up with his Spite Ups. I forget the ability's name. But yeah, it's just like one of those matchups, like I said, like as you can see right here, the Team Rockets deck is it's just like heavily bricked. Like he doesn't have he couldn't find energy other than grass. So you can't use two of his like strong attackers, which was the Team Rocket Mimikyu and the Team Rocket's Mewtwo. So then he's just gonna opt in to just hit me for 180 damage. I think it's 180 or 150 damage, and he's just debating attaching. So he decides to attach this energy because he knows that this Spite Ups is going to be knocked out potentially this turn, so he can always just Spite Ups it back. And yeah, I think at this time, either just knock out the Team Rocket's Articuno, and I hope he doesn't have Night Stretcher. So, and then he does exactly 150 damage. Okay, so yeah. So recon, see what I have. I did get Archer this turn, his turn, so I opt in to grab the Pokepad to then search out for a second Dracloak. I think that's the best play. Grab a second Dracloak. I think I have I have Dusclops in hand, so I can put it down. I could technically put... No, that's not enough math. I'm short by 2. So Pokepad, grab another... debating on which one to grab. Set up for long term, but I decided just to grab a Dracloak. Playing the game is winning. Playing the game for a potential play is not winning. You don't want to just like, oh, if I somehow make it past next turn, I have nuts. You never want to play it like that. You want to set up your board as much as possible, and then see how, because each board, every turn, your opponent's board and your board changes dramatically. So you want to like play on how the board state is now. Because next turn, that play you thinking about this turn, and then hoping like your opponent's going to change a lot of things, and then by the time you're ready for that play, it's pointless. So I opt in to make sure I am ready for a backup attacker, because this Dragapult is about to get KO'd. And I believe I'm going to keep one of the energies in hand just for potential safety. So I opted to put a fire there. I think I have a fire in hand. Am I wrong? Nope, I don't. So I opted just to save it there. And then hope I don't get Archer next turn. I opted to not play the Buddy Buddy Poffin. and I just knock out the Spidops, putting all 60 on the second Spidops, taking the next prize. At this point, I just need a 3 prize turn. And looking at his hand, it's pretty much not good. He has 2 transceivers he could be searching for. I think he's doing all the math. At this point, he's just needing a Team Rocket's energy and being able to then swing into my like hitting 200, knocking out my Dragapult, doing 60 spread to my bench is pretty good. And then like for me, but I think he's just stuck. He does have Team Rocket's Archered. I think he's opting to play that. He knows I have energy in hand, and if he potentially does, I'd be searching for, and like I would need the nuts, but I still do have Hilda in deck. So Night Stretcher back the Clefairy, and then just like giving me, if he plays it down, he gives me the guaranteed win, right? I'll be short by 1. But if I get rid of this Articuno, then I have potential. So the idea is if I can find if I can find Dusknoir, I Dusknoir into the Articuno, I attack the Spidops, and I attack and Phantom Dive all to the Monkey Dory, taking 3 prize cards for the win. And that's the idea set up here for me. Even if he does not play, so he does Archer me, so it's not a good move for me. So I'm asking a lot in this state. And so right now I need the Dusknoir, I need energy, and I need my Dragapult, because at this point it's gonna get knocked out. And just like that. And let's see what these 3 cards are gonna give me. Let's see here. All right, so he gets to see 5. I get to see 3. I'm gonna look at it, and I'm able to search for 2 cards. I have Crispin, so I have the guaranteed knock by searching for a Psychic Energy. So I know I have Psychic. I even if I whiff the any other energy, I just need 1 energy to attack, and I'm just searching for a Dragapult and Dusknoir at this point, and I got game. I think that's my outcome. So he Bug Catching Set, it's, great card. He is searching, he is thinning, and it's like one of those inclusions into the Team Rocket Mewtwo to like not, like, again, you whiff on energy, and sometimes you whiff on the grass, and having the Bug Catching Set, being able to find out your Spidops and your energies makes it a lot easier. So grabs another Bug Catching Set, fails that one, doesn't find anything. And at this point, I think he just has to like punch me and just knock and take the next 2 and hope I don't have it. Oof. So with 6 minutes left on the clock, with 3 to 4 prizes remaining, it's, there's still a lot of time to declare a winner. And again, I have my win in sight. Now it's just trying to see if I grab all the pieces. I'll be able to see 4 potential cards, only being able to grab 2, and we'll see. So debating on what he could do is he puts down another Team Rocket Tranquilla. I believe that's how you pronounce your name. I would thin out your deck right now with the 2 transceivers, but I think he opts out on doing that. Actually, yeah, he plays 1, sees what he has in his deck. I would grab another Team Rocket's Team Rocket's Petrol. Interesting. Just a Thin and the Scar. And he knocks me out, taking the next two. Oh. There we go. So he has 2 prizes remaining. I have 3. And like I said, I am just searching for the nuts here. And I believe I grab a Dust Skull. And then seeing what I can do here. All right. So I will Crispin first to thin out my deck as much as possible. I see a Fire Energy, and I know there's a Psychic in deck. Grab that. I see the Dusknoir in the deck, so now it's just trying to see if I can find that, and as well as a way to find my Dragapult, and then I have game. I can no longer boss here, so bossing is out of the option. I could have punished him for, I think he has to, did he not play the second Team Rockets? Yeah, he still has the second one. So if he played both Team Rockets, I could have punished him. Again, I don't know, ideally during the game if he had 1 or 2, but the way he lined it up looked like he had 2 Team Rockets receiver. So I find the Dusknoir, and then I search, and I need a Dragapult now, and do I not have it? Yes, Night Stretcher for the Dragapult. I now have the Dusknoir. I pop the Dusknoir onto Articuno. We both take a prize. Then I knock the Spidops and knock the Mimikyu for the game, ending the game, concluding me round 5 for me. And that's it, guys. I'll see you in round number 6. All right, guys, we're here, round 6, the final round of the Swiss round, and then it will be top 8. We're playing for all the marbles here. We're trying to see if we can actually get into top 8. When my opponent does take a mulligan, we're able to see what he's playing, and that is Cynthia's Garchomp, one of the worst matchups for me. Definitely tough to play against. And just with that fact, I'm just thinking like, oh, this is it. This is it. I'm having some negative thoughts, but then I tried to play it out, give it my all, and sorry, and the goal is to basically just get as set up as possible. It is a winnable match. All you got to do is just attack the Roserades, get those out of commission, and then basically you have a fair shot, especially if you can unfair stamp them late in the game. So luckily he is mulliganing a lot, so he mulliganed twice. Being able to grab 2 free cards will definitely help me build a stronger hand on my starting hand. But yeah, so ideally this is just a game of the races, and just hoping he doesn't have all the pieces needed for a dominating board opening round, and gives me enough time to establish a nice board. So the options to play the Gibble instead of the Roselia, which is smart, because then it gives you the option to attack my Badoo if I or with a Roselia turn 2, being able to evolve to a Roserade, which he does have Roserade in hand, being able to then what's it called, attack my Dreepy easily, because he would be able to do 70 damage. So he obviously plays Fighting Dong to grab, which I believe will be another Gibble, because you can't grab a Roselia. It's only Fighting. Fighting Gong allows you to search for any fighting Pokemon, or fighting basic Pokemon, or fighting energy, basic energy. But with this, looking at his board, I do have Buddy Boy Poffin, I do have Risky Ruins, I do have there was another card in my hand. I just spacing out. But ideally, looking at his board, having him to play Fighting Gong, and I believe he will pass it here. It's he options to play. He's debating on putting a Cynthia's Power Weight, which is smart to put it on the Roselia, because that's how they lose. Taking their Roselias is basically game over, because then it makes all their Pokemon have to do 2-hit KOs. Being able to Pokepad, I think the best. I always like to get this board state no matter what game I'm doing. Badoo, Duskull, and 2 Dreepies. If I can get that first turn. Obviously, I do have energy in hand. I will retreat into the Badoo. Just price checking, just making sure everything's correct. I'm not missing anything. Making sure the Dusknoir line is optimal at this stage, because I do not want to whiff here. Because if I can't knock out, or if I can't manipulate the board in any way, I will just lose. And the Dusknoir makes it still like a fightable chance, because you're able to actually, in some instances, take out all Rosilias and all Roserades in play with the help of your skulls. Um, so Debating on what to do here. I think I like the better place to put down the Risky Ruins to start building up damage on his side of the board. Doing that will help. Just because, like, and just because just having the extra 20 damage makes everything just like a lot easier for Phantom Dive. And I do have Rare Candy, so the hope, I do have Ultra Ball, so the hope is there to potentially grab Dragapult next turn, attach, and hopefully grab something to power up my Dragapult. Oh my gosh, I can't speak. So I just hit him with the Itchy Pollen. He evolves to Roserade, being able to swing more. He has the Goodbye already in hand, being able to Champion Call. Champion Call basically means during your turn, you can search for any Cynthia's Pokemon and put it into your hand. And he opts in to grab another Cynthia's Roselia, and he held us for another Cynthia's Goodbye, giving him Rocky Energy as well as Cynthia's Goodbye, searching for a third Gibble. With the threat of a Dust Clops and a Dust, what's it called, Dusknoir. The line most people do is try to take out their Gibbles instead of their Roselias. Especially since he has the Cynthia's Power Weight, he's probably thinking I will pivot into his attackers, which ideally is not something I would go. I would probably just punch, boss up the Roserade, and then blow up his other Roserade on bench. So he takes out the first knock with my Badoo, able to search out for 2 more cards. At this stage, I am looking for, debating on thinking of grabbing another Badoo. But at this point, I'm just basically like, what's the point of item locking him when he already has all his Pokemon out? Really no point. So I opt in just to grab a Dreepy and a Duskull. Debating on the Duskull, I think just grabbing an extra attacker would be great, and it's also another draw aspect to keep me in the game. Lucky enough that you can't really do spread damage with the Cynthia's Garchomp, but being able to set up my board as much as possible for as much draw is ideal. So I do have the Rare Candy in hand. I do have an Ultra Ball in hand. I could get to Rare Candy, Dragapult this turn. I'm just searching for Crispin. I do have Wonder Cloak, so the play I will definitely do is Recon on the bench, put the Dragcloak on the bench, and then pray I do get the Crispin off of here, and I opt in to grab the Badoo instead of the Dusclops due to the fact that I can just discard with the Ultra Ball because I do need the extra card needed. I do have the Unfair Stamp, and with my hand being so dead, I opt in to play it just because it's another out. I could potentially find, I haven't played a supporter yet, I could potentially find the Crispin. I play the Rare Candy into the Dragapult, Unfair Stamp, bringing him down to 2. Hopefully he's not able to set up as much next turn if I do whiff this Crispin. This is also like a Hail Mary's play. I only use 1 energy out of the 7 I have in my deck. So technically I could draw into an energy, or I can just draw into a Crispin, and hopefully I can just build up my board somehow and start putting damage along his side. So he grabs his 2, I grab my 5. So if you're unsure what Unfair Snap does, if you were knocked out in your last turn, in your opponent's last turn, you get to search for, you and your opponent shuffles your hand into your deck, you get 5 prizes. I'm butchering this. You grab 5, you draw 5 cards, your opponent draws 2. Yeah, as you can see, I grabbed the Crispin, being able to power up my Dragapult, being able to swing for exactly 200 in the active Gabite, and I will target the Roserade by putting 5 and putting extra damage counter. Looking at the spread, I think the best is just putting it all the Gibble, and I do opt in to do that. I do have a Dusknoir in hand, and I think I opt in not to play it, which is a big mistake, a big misplay. I should have had it down. So I opt in to take away the Roselia, knocking out 2, taking my first 2 prizes. I definitely forgot to give him his. He throws up his Cynthia's Gibite. And then he does grab Night Stretcher. He does have another Gibite in hand. He can play items now, and he's just searching for what he can do here. And I think he opts in to grab the Cynthia's Cynthia's Spirit Tomb, for I spaced out the name, and then opts in to grab 2 more Roserades at the end of the deck, but then realizes he needs a Cynthia's Garchomp, so he grabs that instead, being able to power up his active Cynthia's Gibite. But unfortunately, he does not have energy for hand, so he's kind of like hoping I punch him and he will retreat into the Spirit Tomb, being able to hit me for, I believe, 400 damage or exactly 200. But being able to have the Monkey Dory down on the bench, being able to have the Dark Energy evolve to Dusknoir, I recon, and at this point I could just hit him for 200. I could move 20 damage to the Gibble, and being able to see this is, my opponent does see this and decides to just concede altogether because he can just see the play that's about to happen. Is that I was like, Dragapult hit 200, put the Dusknoir into the Gibite, smacking it. It will have like a few extra damage. Put the 20 damage onto the Gibble, being able to take away all his attackers, and he is just basically at a losing stump there. Being able to see this, he does concede and just packs it up. And yeah, and a little spoiler alert, I did make top 8, so I'll see you guys in top 8. All right, guys, we're here in top 8. We're about to go best of 3 now, 75 minutes instead of 30 on the clock. And here we go. We're going against Blood Moon Barbarnacle. Very impressive deck. It's all 1 prizers, pretty strong, pretty fun. Our opponent Colin has made it all the way 5-0, making it all the way to undefeated with this deck. And at this point, I'm not sure what he is playing. I think at the time I was thinking like Alakazam. Alakazam is one of those decks where you can easily get discouraged, and just be like, all right, well, it's also a deck that can just automatically go 5-0 at locals. So just because this Genesect, and the only time I saw Genesect was in the Alakazam builds, so I just played down a Dreepy in my hand, and since I went first, I do have Lilies for next turn, and he does play Air Balloon to the Genesect, which, if you guys don't know, Ace Nullifier is the ability on the Genesect, and Ace Nullifier does is if this Pokemon has a tool, your opponent can't play any Ace specs at all. If there's an aspect already in play before the, like for instance, like a legacy energy or a enriching energy or a tool card like maximum belt, it'll still be active. It's already in play. This is only this ability stops it from coming into place. For instance, if it was in your hand and you wanted to play it the next turn, you would not. You cannot if this Genesect already has an energy attached. So he will now attack me for 70. I mean, Dusknoir has 30 damage, 30 minus 30 damage resistance for fighting. But luckily, I mean, unfortunately, that's still enough to knock it out. So at this point, I'm thinking about playing this Pheasantipede, as this Pheasantipede can potentially get knocked out because this is a fighting deck. Once the Blood Moon came down, I realized that obviously Alex Sims out the questions. Now I'm kind of debating, should I play this Ultra Ball just because I do not need these two cards anymore, which is Shaman and Team's Rocket Watchtower. So opt in to grab the Dread Cloak, be able now to see 5 potential cards on top of the Lily. So it's even much more stronger. So now I'll be able to go from an 8 to a 13 card hand. 12 card hand. I'm able to see 5 cards, but I'm only allowed to grab 4, 3 from the Fez, and 2, 1 from the Recon ability from the Dread Cloak. So we'll see what we got here. Alrighty, we got 4/4. We got the Badoo down. We got the Pokepad. We're playing 2 and then opting in to see what we can grab just to get our board more as set up as possible. Just kind of seeing what we can do here. Opt in to play the Dreepy and decide to play and just be like, okay, that's it. And I actually make the mistake of thinking that I grabbed the Badoo off of my Pokepad, but luckily the judge was watching our game and said, no, the Badoo is from hand, so you still have, you still can use a Pokepad. So I opted in to grab a Duskull, and now it's, you know, pretty good. Thinning out some cards in my deck, and now being able to Fez and Recon is pretty strong. Let's see. Trying to remember what that card does. I know it now. I do know that if your opponent's Pokemon has damage counters, it does 30 more damage for each damage counter on your opponent's Pokemon. At the time, I think I was reading it backwards, and I thought it said if this Pokemon has 30 damage, if this Pokemon has damage on itself, it does 30 more damage for each damage counter on itself. Right, so I was thinking like, oh, okay, so if I punch this thing right now, it can just destroy a lot of things on my side. So I opted and realizing that was mistakenly transcribed by me. I'm realizing it later. I opted to just retreat and just go into the Badoo and just going for the Itchy Pollen and hoping he can't get more set up. Looking at his hand, it's pretty stacked with a lot of supporters. I think he opts in for the boss's orders instead to just slow down the game for me. I bring back my Badoo. I only have 1 Dreepy. At this point, I mean, I could still come back. I just need Rare Candy, Dragapult, which I think I do have Rare Candy in hand. I just don't have Dragapult. I do have Fez. So I could search out for the Dragapult. And then obviously Crispin would come in handy too. I do have Unfair Stem I just grabbed, and I just grabbed the Dragapult, so it will pretty much guaranteed a good KO here. So I decide to I believe I Rare Candied here and attached just once. saving the unfair stamp for a later turn, and then attaching and then itching one more time. And just giving me, and then because like at this point, like unfair stamp is not really necessary because he hasn't really played a Pokemon his last turn. So in my mind, his hand is either filled with item cards to search out Pokemon, or he just doesn't have basic Pokemons, right? So I opted just to play Lilies instead. At this point, I mean, I could just to get better set up. Hopefully, I can grab another Dreepy. And then let's just try to go from there. And yeah, I mean, it's not. Unfortunately, I'm favored in this matchup because the spread damage is not. It's not good. It is very strong against other decks because of the factor of no spread, and it's one. Like your opponent takes one prize, you take two. It's one of those trades off, but it's like for this, it's like less favored due to the fact that Dragapult can just spread and just make it easier to take 2 to 3 prizes in one turn versus the 1 to 2 prize trade you're usually used to. So I play the buddy and realize all my other Dreepies are prized. So technically this is like bad. And like, obviously since I played it, I'm pretty sure he was thinking like, oh, now I know he doesn't have it, but luckily I have a Night Stretcher to at least keep me in the game. So I opted to play that Night Stretcher for the Dreepy just to keep me in the game. Grab some water. So I do have Crispin for next turn. Debating on actually to use this unfair stamp just because of the knowledge of not having extra Dreepies in deck. If he can pop off next turn, then I'm pretty much stuck, right? So I would do him, and he does have 2 Pokemon that he can play with, and opts to play him now. He plays Morty Convention, which basically discard a card from your hand and draw for as many cards your opponent has in your bench. So I have 4, so he draws 4 new cards. Opts to play the I believe you eventually played the Lunatone. I remember seeing a Lunatone. Yes, okay. So he does play the Lunatone, and then debating on what to do, opting to play the Battle Cage to not spread damage around, which is pretty strong, pretty something like good thing to do. And then all he can do is attack. At this point, he already has 2 prizes, and I haven't even gave that to him. So let me give that to him. There you go. He knocks my Badoo, taking a third. He has now 3 to 6. Against other matchup, it's pretty much like it's more favor for him because like you're only taking 1 prize turns. But luckily for me, I can take multiple prizes. Sorry, 1 second. So like my biggest play is to grab Dusknoir, attack the Genesect. I can't play Unfair Stamp yet, but I have it in hand, so I'm able to now pop it, discard, like knock out the Genesect, play the Unfair Stamp, bring him down to a 2-card hand. Before doing that, bump the Stadium and be able to spread damage here. So I'll bump the Stadium first. I will now Dusknoir into the Genesect. Him taking a prize. I'm taking a prize. My first prize. And then take him down to a 2-card hand. And I forgot to grab my prize card, put it into the deck. There we go. And we're shuffling and we're making good progress here. All right. He takes 2, I take 5. Unfair stamp, basically allowing you, if you were knocked out last turn, you're able to play this card. Both players shuffle their hands. Your opponent draws 2, you draw 5. I do have Fez still able, and I now just got Dracloak, so I'll still be able to see 5 new cards, grabbing 4 of them. So Dracloak first, 2 Lilies, might as well grab 1, and then Fezandipity for 3. Let's see what we got here. Boss, Ultra Ball, and Dracloak. So at this point, I'm just seeing if there's anything else I can do. I decide to knock, put all 60 on the Barnacle. I think that's how you pronounce the name. All right, and then his hand is pretty much not dead. He has Pokepad to be able to search for Soul Rock, to be able to draw more cards. Grabs a Soul Rock, and he also I just saw the new supporter Targaryen. I believe that's how you pronounce his name. I'm really bad at pronouncing names whatsoever in Pokemon real life, so it's like my speech is terrible. So the options to grab a Blood Moon and 3 Fighting Energies, which, if you guys don't know what that supporter does, basically if you choose 4 of any combination of fighting or fighting energy, fighting Pokemon or fighting energies from your discard to your hand, he options to grab 3 fighting energies and 1 fighting. Grabs the Okidoki from the Luna Cycle and puts down the Lunar Legacy Energy. At this point, now I'm thinking like, oh my god, now I'm thinking like this Legacy Energy and this Okidoki can potentially be a threat. He only needs 2 prizes. I still need 4. And I'm just looking at this thing because it just hit me for 400. I mean, 270, and it also has 230 health. Even if I knock it, I won't get a prize unless I snipe it from the bench, right? Even if I hit it, it still has 30 HP, so it still survives a Phantom Dive. So it's not ideally good. So I'm opting to play Boss's Orders, bringing up the Soul Rock, and seeing what else I can do. At this point, just knocking it, putting 40 on the Lunatone, the rest on the Barnacle, and then just taking my 2 prizes, making us tie. And at this point, I'm just like, I'm thinking like, what can I do? I do need Monkey Dory, I do need Dark Energy, and I do need Boss. I don't know if I have any of those in my hand. He brings back a Soul Rock, just draw more cards. More likely he's going to attack with the Okidoki. I'm looking at my discard because at this point I'm realizing like I just need Boss and I just need Monkey Dory and Dark. Right? 3 cards. I discarded 1. I played 1 bosses. So at this point, do I even have the last boss or is it prized? And I haven't prize checked it, so it's like one of those things I have to like double check to make sure. So he's debating on what to do here. Grabs, decides to play Fighting Gong, decides to go against it, plays Pokepad instead. Oh gosh, Jesus, my God, I don't know why I'm so tired. Grabs another Barnacle, or I don't even. It's the text is so small I can't even tell. I'm just gonna call it a Barnacle. Yeah, I think his out is just like hoping I don't have Boss next turn and I don't have Monkey, and then he could just hit this twice, and then he wins. Because even if I don't have it next turn, because even if I punch this thing, he's still alive. He's still alive, guarantee. So I would have to punch it with a new Dragapult, and I'm praying he don't have Boss. But I mean, at this point, I pretty much have I have the Monkey Door already. I just need Boss and the Dark Energy. Making sure Dark is there, Dark is in the deck, looking around to see what I could thin out. Debating what I can do. I do have 2 recons to look at. Potentially grab this Dark Energy and this Boss's Orders. But I do have Ultra Ball and I can just search it out. And I think I just realized that, like, oh wait, I can just thin out my deck by playing and grabbing Meowth. So I have Ultra Ball, discard my 2 second Pokemons, and then grab Meowth. I'm like, is it that easy? Just grab Meowth, grab Boss. And it's just like, okay, I got Boss. And now it's just seeing if I can get the Dark Energy from my Monkey Dory. And then just moving it to the Lunatone and then bossing up any of his other Pokemon and just taking the win. So just shuffling my deck as much as I can. It's very hard when it's like just a few cards remaining. Just like that. And I could Pokepad just to thin out one more card, but I decided not to. And then just like that, second card on the top, Dark Energy, play the Monkey Dory, play the Dark, Boss, bring this up, move the 30 damage into the Lunatone, knock it. There we go. I take game 1. We're going into game 2. Let's fix the right here. Oh, wrong thing. And there we go. We got 1. Oh, that's not a 1. Bam. That's a 1. There we go. With 56 minutes left remaining, reset the. We still have pretty much a long time to go because technically that last match only lasted like 20 minutes. So let's see what we got here. He opted to go second once again, and I'm going first. Okay. He is ready to play. I'm just making sure I don't brick. Cut his deck first, and then let's see. Like the Blood Moon Barnacle deck, it's like pretty good. It's pretty solid. It's fun to play. It has a lot of lines, but unfortunately, it's just not good against the Dragapult matchup because of their spread. Like as you can see, he had 3 prizes already. I had all 6, and I still managed to come back and take the win. I think I have 2 Dreepies on the bench. Dreepy active, Dreepy on bench. And then Fist Bump for game 2. Here we go. He has the Okie Dokie. I play Buddy Buddy to then search for Badoo and a Duskull. And Duskull, there we go. And I just pass off to him, and then now he's debating what to do. He just opts in to just pass back to me, and I'm like, okay. And then at this point, I'm just trying to see, is there a possible way to be knocked? Like, oh, I have rare candy in hand. I can potentially draw into stuff. So let me recon first. Let me see what I can get. I was like, oh, I just got Hilda. Now I'm thinking about what is the possible play. Hilda to Dusknoir, or just get Pokepad and Pokepad to Dusknoir. I opted to grab the Hilda, and I was like, oh, actually, I think I got game here. I decided to grab the Dragapult and then an energy as well to attach. And I forgot to play the rare candy from hand, so he's just making sure I play it. I'm like, oh, yeah, sorry. And then it's just like one of those, like, I realize I have the Dusclops in hand, and I play it down. I do play it down, and then I realize, like, oh, he has 130 HP. He doesn't have 120, so I can't really knock him. So I decide to do not knock the Dusclops yet and just punch it for 70 and see what he has, and then he just concedes right then and there. He knew he doesn't have it. He definitely has other attackers, but I mean other attackers. He definitely has other basics, but chooses not to do it. He just sees that the board's already too far gone for him to come back, and just decides to concede, moving me to top 4. So I'll see you guys there at top 4. All right, guys, we're here, top 4, going against Chicken Polt. This is for all the marbles, taking us who can potentially take us to the finals. So with the Chicken Polt versus the Pult Noir, it is like 50-50. It really depends on who can set up first and how strategic you can play. 75 minutes on the clock now. So he opts to play a Torchic and Pokepads for a Dreepy. My hand is not the greatest. I do have a Lilies to buy me an out. Luckily, he does opt to go first. So there's that potential. So that, the best ideal setup is to grab Badoo and Dreepy and just start this Itchy Pollen war, and then hope that Lilies just gives me more to work with as far as another buddy, another Pokepad, something to just build the board to be a very aggressive board state. So he's just price checking, and he opts to grab the Dreepy. And let's see what we go down here for. So he opts to actually play another Ultra Ball, discarding the Shaman and the Fire Energy, building a discard for the putting energy in the discard for his Blaziken later on. Is very smart and beneficial, and get ready, because sometimes once you get the Blaziken, you just don't have energy to discard to utilize its own ability to its advantage. So there you go. You opt in and attaches another fire energy to the Dreepy, passes back to me, and now I'm just play my buddy, and then trying to see what's the best optimal play with the stuff I have in prize. And I think the best play is still to do the Dreepy and Badoo, and eventually I do opt for that. And I'm just making sure I didn't prize anything valuable. Yeah, so there's that. For all you wondering what is his name, unfortunately I didn't grab his name, so I couldn't ask for his name. So he is now unknown. So yes, I already lined up the 2 cards on the top and just thoroughly price checking here. So optimally played Badoo and Dreepy attached to the Dreepy, and then Lily's Determination, and then pray for the best. I do play Team Rocket's Watchtower with the intent of him, knowing that he has a low hand size, opting to him not to be able to find Meowth, and not being able to play that next turn. He's just letting me know that this card has a little ding in at the corner, and the judge is looking at it, and I give her an extra sleeve so she can fix it up as I continue shuffling. So then I'm just praying for good top 8 cards. We fixed the issue with the Team Rockets. I almost accidentally discard it. He opts to actually shuffle my deck instead of cutting it, which is totally legal. You have the option to shuffle your opponent's deck, and then your opponent also has the option to cut his deck, their own deck, after you shuffle it, to make sure there's no foul play. Obviously, I didn't opt in to cut it. I Badoo, and there we go. He top drew a Dracloak, and he has Buddy. He recons, and I think it's another Dracloak or a Dreepy, And then he asks me like, hey, how many cards do you have in your hand? So I believe he's eyeing up for a judge play, which we'll see once he grabs. And then yes, he plays the judge, bringing me down to 4. I noticed another dink card, so I'm just let the judge know and just let her know like, hey, here's this card that has a dink. Can you fix it for me? As I'm waiting for that, just thinking about the outs, thinking about the strats. Putting my hand down to 4 is very. I think I remember looking at my 4-card hand and just thinking it was absolutely trash. Like there's nothing I could do. And we can see there, and he's just seeing if there's anything more I can do. Option to attach to his Ultra Cloak, and then Itchy Pollen and me. And yes, he's shuffling my deck, and then I'm going to draw my 4 and then be able to and see what I get. So looking at this hand, is completely trash. Boss, Pokepad, Meowth, and Dusknoir, and top draw is a Buddy. Can't even use that because I'm Itchy Pollen, and I can't play my Meowth, which would have been great, but I locked myself out of playing it because I put down my Team Rocket's Watchtower to potentially lock him out, but I just locked myself out. And now I'm just praying that he doesn't have the energy needed, so I Itchy him. And then he will play the Lilies and draw 8 new cards. And at this point, I'm just praying he doesn't really have the necessary things he needs. Because the Dragapult... because getting a Dragapult is very... Oh, sorry, I don't know where these yawns are coming from. Plays the Dracloak, plays Recon, sees the 2 cards. He does have energy in hand. He opts in to keep 1. And then he's probably going to Recon a second time to see what he can get. Just like that. It's very good at hiding the cards from the camera. As far as I can't even tell what he's playing with. Can see a little bit. Attaches a fire energy there. Dragapult. And then I think he opts into... Oh yeah, he's gonna punch the Dragapult. And then spreading the damage 30-30 to the Dreepies. Making them both one-shot KO, even if they evolve. My only out to this situation at this point, it would be Rare Candy Dragapult. For both of them. So I'm just searching. At this point, I'm lining up a Duskull, and I'm just giving him a potential target. Because I do need both of these Dreepies, and sometimes what I like to do is... something I like to do is sacrifice a Pokemon for the greater good. And meaning, if I put down this Duskull, hopefully most players see that as like that's more of a threat than me knocking out his other attacker. Just because Dusknoir is a very like powerful thing. It's like the goal is to hopefully not make it more scare for him to be like, all right, I gotta actually attack these things. If he had boss, obviously he does have boss in hand, so the correct play for him to do is boss up the Dracloak and just put all the damage on the Dracloak and the Dreepy, and then taking away all my attackers. Now the Dusknoir and the Dusclops line is pointless. He did take a prize, so let me give him his prize. So I top draw from the Recon. I play Lilies. Let me see, 8 new cards. Just making sure, what can I do here? Grab my 8 cards. Let's see. I have another Dracloak, but all these Pokemon are new. Oh, actually, I played a Dracloak. I attach return, so whichever Pokemon he does decide, hopefully he can, if he bosses up a Dracloak, it'd be like boss up the Dracloak and attack one of the Duskulls, and just pray he doesn't have it, or pray he does go for that, so I have at least one Dragapult to play with. But ideally, he's tough, smarter player than that, so obviously he's going to go for the knock out the 2 Dracloak board, taking me away from the game. So I recon a second time, see what I get. Dragapult obviously in hand, so I grab that. Hopefully I can potentially use it next turn. Well, I grabbed a Meowth. It wasn't Dragapult, it was a Meowth. And seeing what I can do. At this point, my bench is full. I was like, should I get rid of this Team Rocket Watchtower? But I decided not to, so I just passed. And then just praying he doesn't have the line. But he obviously does. He does have the boss. He's just going to see the top 2 cards. I think at this point he's just trying to build his Torchic up to a Blaziken, and that would give him like a pretty good like solid board state. Yep, he bosses up the Dracloak, and then more likely gonna opt in, plays a Monkey Dory down, evolves to a Combustion, and then moving 10 damage to the Latias, and then being able to knock both my Dracloaks, putting me at a bad state. At this point, I should have just conceded and just go take it, scoop up, and just go to game 2. But I'm like, let me see if I can come back from this. So I search for more attackers. So obviously I do have 2 Dreepies, I believe. Yeah. Just looking at my possible potential cards here. So I will eventually opt in to grab those 2 Dreepies, play one bench, and start sniping away. I opt in. I'm just debating on my hand. What should I grab? Should I keep this empty spot for the Meowth or any shenanigans I need to play with? At this point, he did take 2 prizes. So let me give him his prizes. He's down to 3. I'm down to 6. But Dragapult always comes back from 1 prize card to potentially coming back to where we're tied in one round and 1 turn. So I do grab the second Dreepy. And then let's see where we go from here. I do have Fez. Fez can draw for me. I Fez. I do unfair stamp. Unfair stamping him will give me a huge potential. Now it's just like thinning as much as possible. Grab a Dusclops. I think I'm going to do it again. I have another Ultra Ball. Play the Ultra Ball. Opting to get rid of the Risky Ruins and the Jamming Tower, because they're both unnecessary for this matchup. Debating on what to get rid of, but the Crispins are too valuable at this stage. I only 2 fires are gone, so it's kind of like one of those like so I opted to just get rid of both stadiums, search for another Dusclops, and then get my hand down. Get rid of a lot of bulk cards. Don't need it to go back inside the deck, and then going to unfair stamp him. Unfair stamp him, bring him down to 2, me getting 5, and then hopefully with this disruption gives me enough time to get back into the game with another Dragapult and start doing some damage. Yeah, that's I think it's like it's a correct play to do. It's, you know, you're just hoping, but you know, technically I am wasting a lot of time playing this round where I could have just scooped and go to game 2 and hope for the best. Which ideally in any like regional event you kind of want to do that, because potentially going for 3 games in a row, right? Playing three rounds is pretty like with the only 75-minute time limit is very very hard to do, especially with the Dragapult mirror, because they play very like it's a very slow match. So you want to use time, and that was something I didn't realize. And then I opt in to play boss and throw up his Buskin, and hopefully he doesn't have the 2 energies needed to retreat. And now he's just kind of like lining up. He does play Ultra Ball to grab potentially his Blaziken, which you see him lining up right there. Grabs it, and then now he has a 0 card hand, but able to see 4 cards, grabbing 2 of those from the Dracloak's Recon ability. So just like that. And then Recon. Recon again. Evolves that Lily's Determination. So there we go. Let's see. And now he just still needs 2 energies to retreat, but technically for him, if he can find energy, and then just attach, and he could hit my Fez for 10, and then still has it next turn by just punching anything in my bench, basically. So he uses his ability to attach a basic energy from your discard to one of your Pokemon, and he opts in to put it on the Blaziken itself, and passes back to me, giving me an extra turn. Hopefully, I can come up with something here. Looking at what I can do. For Cloak, I found the rare candy. So the best play, I do have Dragapult in hand. Rare candy, bring that. Pop one of my Dusknoirs to give me enough room to grab Meowth, play Meowth, grab Crispin, and start swinging. And yeah, and just start swinging here and then hitting it for 200. But I don't think I opt to do that. So I do grab the rare candy. I've used the rare candy to evolve into the Dragapult. I opted to play the Hilda instead. I don't know why I decided to do that. I should have just grabbed the Crispin, but I don't think I had the any more fire energies left. And I think I'm just trying to like thin out as much as possible to grab it off the prize, because there's 2 in discard, 1 probably prize. So the Crispin play would have been useless, and luckily my past self saw that there's not enough fire energies left because I prize checked that earlier. So now knowing both of my fires are in the discard with the 2 Dracloaks, I have to play a little bit smarter. So I retreat and I'm gonna sacrifice a Dusknoir. I mean a Dusclops. At this point, it's still his, like, even though I came back with no Dragapults, I was board wiped of all my attackers. I'm back in it with a Dragapult and a Dracloak. Now it's just seeing if I can potentially. I'm still potentially in this, so technically, I in a way I am coming back, and I could technically still win this if he whiffs a lot. But luckily, I mean, unfortunately, he does not whiff. Obviously, he can retreat with another attaching fire energy from discard to itself and retreating to the Dragapult, swinging away. All he really needs is boss, and he finds boss. He just bosses up the Latias, and he can spread damage. Let's see what he does here. Opt in to grab the boss to attack the Pheasantipity itself, moving the Badoo damage for 1, playing down another Dreepy, using the Blaziken's ability to attach to itself from the discard pile, retreating it, and now he's denying me draw for next turn. Throwing up the Dragapult and being able to swing, and putting all 60 damage possibly on the Dracloak, because now my Dusknoirs and my Duskull are basically useless. And okay, so he decides to put 30-30, spread that around. Looking at what I can do here, I'm looking for fire energy at this point. I'm looking for Night Stretcher at most. I do find lilies, so I play the lilies, and then hopefully I can draw 8 new cards and hopefully get the rare candy, the Night Stretcher, and then I can potentially punch this guy and put all 60 onto the Badoo, not being able to get thrown back at me, and then hoping to also find my another Dragapult. And I drew 6 cards, and the judge is like, wait, you have 6 prizes, so you grab 8 more cards. You got 2 more cards to be total of 8. Apologies. Seeing what I can do here. Night Stretcher for the fire energy. I retreat into the Dragapult, and now I'm just kind of looking for another Dragapult, because you could just knock it out. So I do find it, and I do play it. So now my only lose is if he moves the 30. He moves 30 to my Dusclops, and then taking it for game, which he does have it, but unfortunately I just don't see it. And I'm thinking like, oh, if I put all the damage counters onto the Badoo, there's no way he can move damage. And then the second his turns ends, I realize, well, he has 200 damage to work with. He can move it. And I was just like, oh my god, I didn't see that. I could have conceded a long time ago. So I put all 6 there, thinking like I made some crazy play, but I realized I did not, because all he really needs is to move 30 damage onto Dusclops, but luckily he does not see it as well. He has it, but he's lining up like a crazy play. I think he was like he was trying to search for he was ultra balling to see if boss is in deck. Yeah, boss is there in deck, and then he has Meowth in hand, so being able to just be like Meowth, and then him just like realizing like, oh wait, I have game in hand, and I'm like, bro, you do have game in hand, you just didn't see it. but still playing to his out, like still looking at making sure that thinking the game was going to last longer than it is, but He realizes it very shortly. He shuffles, and I remember him putting it down for me to cut. He's like, "Wait, hold on a second. I'm sorry. I have game in hand." I'm like, "Okay." Because sometimes, like, for me, the best thing to do is like shuffling. This is when he realized he had game in hand. Ultra Ball, 2 cards away. Meow for the boss, and really all he needed was just to put the 30 damage and move and spread and knocks me out, and there you go. And just like that, he takes game 1. As we are setting up here. Let's move this. Nope, not that one. All right. Boop. All right, with 50 minutes left on the clock. That's like enough. That's like plenty of time for technically 2 games. I was like, I'm not too worried. I just gotta play a little bit faster. And then just kind of to see, like, hopefully I don't break. That's like my best thing. And oh man, I'm just looking at how he shuffles his deck after playing. He puts each card that was in the field randomly in his deck, and then making it so they're not stacked against each other. That's pretty good. It's pretty smart. Probably gonna do that moving forward. Sorry for the keep coughing, man. Dry mouth. Take a sip. At this point, I think we're just thinking of our strats there. Like, I don't think there's much I can do. I should have just conceded, go into game 2 really fast, and seeing what I can do. I wasted a lot of time. Technically, let's see. I think I'm gonna say I wasted like 30 minutes. No, 50, 20. I wasted 25 minutes. So he I opted in to like shuffle his deck, and he obviously shuffles mine. That's what he's been doing. Draw 7, see what we got here, and I just got like the worst. Technically it's not the worst. I got 2 Duskulls, and I have a buddy to grab 2 Dreepies, and it's just like one of those like I lost, so I'm going second. I opted to go second. He's debating on what to put down. He's thinking option to put the Torchic down, and then we go from here. All right, fist bumps are active. Round 2 begins. He grabs 2 Dreepies down, attached the turn to the Torchic, and passes to me. At this point, I'm thinking like, what is the best? I'm thinking like he probably doesn't have the great cards, and I think I misplay by actually putting like a Badoo and a Dreepy, just playing 1 Dreepy, which is a terrible thing to do against the Dragapult mirror. You want to at least have 2, because it could just like come up and just knock you out. But I opt in to go a little bit more reckless and just get a Badoo, and hopefully he doesn't have the cards needed to destroy me. I was like, I'll be safe for another turn. Hopefully he doesn't have what he needs, right? So yeah, there's that. Throw the Badoo in the active, boss up the Dreepy, Itchy Paw on it. Kind of want it to waste an energy there. Hopefully he doesn't have another energy. But he has he has Dracloak. He's able to decides to evolve the active one with 10 damage on it. And then he does have fire energy, and then Lily's determination. Hopefully he's thinking like, oh, let me just draw into my Badoo. Hopefully I can get it. And I don't recall if he does get it. But at this point, it's just like, all right, you know, he has his setup, I have my setup, and hopefully I can use this Dusknoirs and Dusclops a lot sooner, a lot more efficient this game than I did last time. Um, because by the time they're already powered up and ready to go, he only had one prize cards left, and it was just bench. They were just like too much bench, like taking away too much bench space. So what did he grab? He did grab a combustion. He can evolve. Grab. He can't play the Pokepad. And then he does opt in to go back into the combustion, just because he can attack it and knock out my Badoo. Debating on what to grab. Fez. Don't think he grabbed the Fez. I could be wrong. Seeing. Let's see. I mean, there's not much. Like, I mean, him knocking down my Badoo and me like thinking like, what can I do here? It's one of those like, okay, his hand's heavily item related, and he was able to find that one combustion, opting in to actually play the Fez he grabbed from the recon, and opposite, and then just KOs, taking the first prize of round 2. I evolve into my Dusclops, and now my hand is like pretty much garbage, so I have to like do this boss stalemate play, and I just retreat. I mean, I don't retreat. I just pass back to him, and it's just like this awful hand. He able to find another Drug Cloak. He can Drug Cloak again if you wanted to, because he has Pokepad. And I think he's just like playing to his outs, because he can Ultra Ball to his Blaziken, find Monkey Dory. I think that's a Dark Energy all the way at the bottom. Pokepad to the monkey and then just knock the Latias. And that would just like take me out of commission here. Like, I would just be out, bro. So yeah, so I guarantee he's like searching for the Blaziken, because he can just use that fire energy from discard to like power itself and hit for 200. If he has monkey, he attach return and be able to spread that 1 damage counter back to the Latias, taking a 2 prizer. But it looks like he is lining up at this point. Like, once he gets the Blaziken, and I only have 1 Dreepy, so it's like kind of like game over, mate, for me. Because his board is pretty much set up like with 2 Cloaks and a fully established combustion that he could just attack, and that thing's like it's too much of a tank to just like use like spread little tiny damage on it, you know. So when it comes to, oh man, just thinking about his plays. Oh, he does have to retreat, so he can't monkey this turn, so that's fine. I mean, he can still take a 3 prize turn next turn, because he's gonna just put so much damage on this Latias, because combustion also does just 200 damage, and yeah. So Pokepad for another Dracloak just to get 3 Dracloaks is just, you know, unstoppable. At that point, like, he's just searching for all the cards he wants. So yeah, I mean, as pretty much unfortunate for me. Oh, almost card error. There we go. And then obviously he's going to evolve to that Dracloak. He's just establishing his board as much as possible at this point. I think it's just like I'm seeing the end is near as I'm playing this game, because there's really not much. It's like my hand is pretty much dead. As long as I get top deck Lose Determination, then I'm pretty much okay. But I mean, it looks like he has boss in hand. He hasn't played a supporter for turn and just wiping out my my only Dreepy. Just like puts me back at a longer state. So he attaches return to the Dracloak to retreat into the Blaziken, which is like, I think it's the best preferred play. I think he's just trying to align it. I think he's thinking like punch the Latias and hope he doesn't have it next turn, or just take away the threat altogether and just make him have to set up harder. Using his Blaziken ability to take from the discard to power any Pokemon with one basic energy, opts to put it onto the Blaziken, and then bossing up my only Dreepy to take it out, and then basically making it like kind of like impossible for me to come back. It's still possible, but it's like unfavored. And I think at this point I just couldn't do anything. I don't have a Dreepy. I have a Monkey Dory attached to it and pass. So it's like I guess I'm going for the Mind Bend play, and there's nothing much I can do. I just got an awful hand. Looking at his discard, it's like he has all the resources in the world still. He has 3 recons that he's going to look at. And it's just like icing on the wall, man. He did take a prize. Let me give him his prize. There we go. So he has 4 prizes remaining, and I have 6. Evolves to that. Dragapult decides to retreat and do some spread damage here. Looking for, puts down another Torchic down. There is a Psychic Energy in the discard, I believe. So he attaches the Psychic because he has fire in hand. And then being able to swing for 200, take away the dust. Yeah, so attaches his fire energy. And let's see what I can. I mean, there's really not much. And then it's like 200 here, and then just knock out the Duskull, and he takes his 3rd prize. And I top deck, and it's Dusknoir. I mean, I evolve it, and I at this point it's just like maybe I grab something from the prizes that will save me. So I pop that, giving him another prize. At this point, I just don't see the light. I fairy, and I just concede right there, basically taking me out. There's nothing much I can do. I'm looking at the top cards of my deck. I would have took me 3 turns before I could get an out, and just like that, I am out of the finals. But I make it to top 4, which is actually my first time ever making top 4. I want to say that's a lie. I think I won 1 cup one time. No, that's a lie. I never won a cup. But I've been really close. I think I went second in 1 cup last season though. But this season, this is my first top 4 finish. Unfortunately, it's the last cup for my Pacific store because the season's about to end. But I hope you guys enjoyed that video. I hope you guys liked the breakdown of me walking through like both sides and seeing like the optimal plays and stuff like that. I enjoyed it very much. Probably gonna do this a lot more. I do have more exciting production stuff coming into the works. Hopefully it'll be all ready for next season to begin. But in the meantime, I hope you guys enjoy. I'll see you on to the next video. Adios. I love you. Peace.